Okay. Recording. We are now recording. That's good. I almost didn't do that. So the workbook, you will receive an email tomorrow with a link. That link will have the workbook in it, and it will also have a link to download the recording. I will give you at the end of this, once I stop the recording, I will give you like the secret code, and you put that in and it will give you the package for free, totally for free. So nobody has to put in their Visa, their payment information. It kind of looks like that for some reason because the screen, the setup, like, I don't know, it's a send owl issue. But when you open it up, it looks like, oh, I need to put in my Visa information and then put in the discount code. You don't. Last time I had to issue like 30 refunds, which is fine, or they're here for free now. We just like gave them a free ticket to this one, but you don't need to put in any other payment information. So that is that, okay? I'm going to just jump right into this with a welcome, everybody. So nice to see everyone here. Those of you who I can see, there's only so many squares on my screen, but I'm grateful that I can hold space for so many people and that so many people are willing to join us and to be part of this community. Yeah,
I just
somebody's saying, oh, I'm just gonna mute Shauna here. Somebody is talking about the interpreter. I believe she is pinned. Remove pin. Yes, the interpreter is pinned. So that should be good for everyone. Okay, so for those of you who are joining us live, amazing. Thank you. Those of you who are watching the recording later, welcome. Thank you to everyone for being a part of this community. It's super cool to have the platform to do this and to share accessible and affordable resources with so many people. And if you are here watching this, taking this now, or at some point, you are one of the 1% of people who are really actively working on themselves. So just be patient with that process. It's hard, it's long, I get it, but it will get you somewhere, and you will find more balance and more harmony and better people and more abundance. And that is what Taurus is going to help us do. That is what Taurus energy helps us do. Taurus season starts tomorrow, April 19th. It goes until May 19th. It's a really good time to get together a practical plan. So in the workbook, there's certain questions and prompts that we've created, and it just will help you guys organize your thoughts and your ideas, get a little bit of a plan of action together. I've put one of the squares in there for you to just put down a couple people who will help you remain accountable, because trust me, it's hard enough to do this with a world that doesn't really want to do this. It's harder to do it when you're surrounded by family or friends who think you're fucking crazy because you're like, it's a full moon, I'm emotional. And they're like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm a human and the moon is real and it affects the oceans and my body is 70% water. So I am also partially affected, but whatever, we're not going to get into that. So like, it's a really good opportunity to just settle down, connect with other like-minded people, use this workbook to jot down a couple people who are like-minded so that you have those people to help you on your path, on your journey to remain accountable. I said this for a while, you really only need one person. You really only need one other good person who is like, bitch, I see that happening for you. You want to be a fucking star? I see it happening for you. You're going to be a star. And it's like the two of you together, that just amplifies the energy. It amplifies the belief. The belief sits in your emotion. I just talked about this in my podcast, Middle Ground, go listen. It's great, super easy. But emotion is energy in motion. So it's moving within you and you're going to vibrate that outwards and you are going to attract it back to you. If you know, you will find love. You will find some kind of love that will make you feel the way you feel when you dream about the love you want. If you want abundance, you will find the abundance that you dream about when you hold the vibration of the type of abundance you want. We live in a universe with the universal law. What you vibrate, you attract. Misery loves company, abundance loves generosity. It's like you will find it, it will come to you. It's a matter of patience and releasing the doubt, because the doubt is what pulls you in the opposite direction. Because doubt is also tied to fear. Fear is tied to lack. Lack is tied to scarcity. You're going to attract more of that. So if you ever listen to like Abraham Hicks, I believe, amazing podcaster. Well, it's not really a podcast, they're like live shows, but they upload clips and such. Super easy to listen to, really good for reprogramming your mind. I touch on a lot of the same things that they touch on. And it's like they have this metaphor with a train of thought. You've got to have that train track towards what you want. And you need to just keep putting more train engines on that track, and it will get you there faster. Don't put a train on an opposite track called doubt that is pulling you in a different direction. You're going to slow down your manifestations. So all of that tied to Taurus energy, because Taurus is also tangible things. Taurus is money, it's health, it's security, finances, resources. So when you think about, for example, Aries, where we're just wrapping up Aries season today. So we're in the final degrees of Aries, which means over the last 30-ish degrees, you probably had some sparks. You probably had some new ideas, a new awareness, a new idea of self, maybe an ego death and rebirth. So with that, now we have this new idea, who I want to become, what direction I feel like I'm moving in. I'm so inspired. Aries, I love you, but they're really good at starting things and they're not so great at finishing everything they start. But Taurus helps us create a practical plan so that everything that we were just inspired throughout Aries season, I want to do this, I feel so good about this, this is who I am. That's great. You received all of that insight at the beginning of the zodiacal wheel in the first house in Aries season, number 1, first sign, so that those ideas can carry you through the next 12 seasons. They will change. Probably when we hit another fire sign, which I think the next fire sign is Leo, there's going to be adjustments. We also have retrogrades. All these little tweaks happen throughout the wheel. But the idea of Aries season is to light all these fires. And then we move into Taurus season. And it's like, okay, inspiration is great, but how do I make it a reality? And how do I turn it into something that is sustainable, something that is long-term? Because Taurus is fixed earth energy. It's like a tree. Like if you plant a seed, it's gonna take a minute for that tree to grow. But if it's in the right garden with the right light and the right water, it's gonna bring you apples every year for the rest of your life if you treat it properly. So we're gonna work in the meditation today. We're gonna do that a little bit after I touch on some of the astrology and some more about Taurus. But in the Aries season meditation for the live workshop, we were looking at seeds. And we pulled off all these layers of ourselves and we stepped outside and it was this beautiful garden. So if you're joining me and you also came from the Aries workshop, you'll be familiar with the garden setup. We're gonna use that again today. If this is your first time, no worries. I'm going to bring you into a space and you're going to create a garden and you'll just start from there. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not behind, totally fine. But Taurus really teaches us how to nurture, how to care for, how to be loyal. It's connected to our self-esteem, our self-worth. It's what we value, our resources, what we want for ourselves. And if you know a Taurus, Taurus either goes two ways because it's fixed energy. So it's going to be like right or left. It's going to be, and maybe these people, not maybe, we're all multifaceted. We're all multi-layered. We all have fears, conditioning, programs, inner child work, shadow. Like we are here to uncover it, to integrate it, to learn how to move forward, bringing abundance and love for ourselves and others. And that only attracts more, by the way. When you're working others into the plan, it attracts way more abundance because those people are knowing in a positive way that they're going to get something out of this. And then the guides, their guides and your guides are like, oh my God, all of these people are going to benefit. Bring this person more. Bring this person more money. Bring this person more resource. Bring this. So whenever you're structuring your plan, and again, we're in Aquarius, we're in the age of Aquarius. So in the age of Aquarius, it's also thinking about community. So when you're structuring this plan through Taurus season, think about how you can put that Aquarius lens on it and how you can contribute back to the collective, how you can support other people, how you can help inspire others, give charitably, etc. So what we're going to do is, I've lost my train of thought now because I'm a Gemini and I'm all over the place, but I try to keep it somewhat structured so you guys can follow along. If you get totally lost, just like pop it in the chat and I'll try to go back. But what we're going to do in the meditation is look at just how we can nurture the seeds that we've planted. And in doing so, it can be 5 minutes every day. You can just lay down and say, what is it that I want to bring into my life? Health. Oh, Taurus goes two ways. Thank you, Jen. I will get right back to that. Health, finances, love. You just want to vibrate that energy of, oh, I already have it. I feel so happy that I'm already a millionaire and I can share wealth with so many communities. I am so happy that I have found the love of my life. Even if you're lying to yourself, even if you're faking it till you make it, like that's the point. You have to just program it so that it then becomes your reality. And then those energies become a thought. That thought becomes a belief. The belief becomes an emotion. The emotion is energy in motion, bringing this energy towards you. So that's how we begin to manifest. I'm going to do an actual manifestation workshop. A lot of people have been asking, but Taurus is a great time to start working with manifestation because Aries is just an idea. It's a spark. It's inspiration. And Taurus is like, I need it in front of me. So what I was saying about the two types of Taurus, every person is multi-layered, of course. You will find a Taurus that is so loyal, so determined, so ready to show up and contribute. And that is the type of high vibrational energy you need to bring through Taurus season. And you need to use that on yourself. Commit to yourself, commit to your own visions, commit to what it is that you want to do, create a schedule, use the workbook to help organize your thoughts, and then figure out a little bit of a routine so that every day, even if it's just 10 minutes in the morning and maybe a 5-minute break in the middle of the day and then 10 minutes at night, or maybe that doesn't work for you. Like, don't blindly listen to what I say. Just take what I'm doing. I'm giving you ideas and pick what works and then create your own rhythm out of that. But it's important through Taurus season to be committed, to be focused, and to be loyal to yourself and your dreams. Taurus rules the throat, the vocal cords, the chin, the ears, amongst other things. It also rules the heart chakra. So what you're feeling in your heart, you have to speak, you have to say what you want, or you won't get it. You have to talk to other people about your dreams, people who vibrate in a similar vibration and believe that you can achieve those things. And the two of you together, or the three of you, or the community, like you guys in the chat, like post your emails, post your stuff. Like, it's cool to just come and like tune into this for a minute, but like I completely support everyone, you know, somehow exchanging information with each other if you feel comfortable, and keeping each other in a sense of community to help grow. Now, the other type of Taurus that I want to talk about, or the other energy that Taurus people carry, super stubborn, super close-minded, super stuck in their ways. This is low vibrational energy. You do not want to get stuck in your old ways. If you think about the tarot, Taurus comes up as the Hierophant. The Hierophant is tradition. It is like old school religion. You know, you got to go to school, then college, get engaged, get married, buy a house, white picket fence, 3 kids, taxes, death, whatever it is. It's like, this is the structure. That's what we do. You need to break away from that. Maybe that works for you. That's great. Figure out how to make it work so that, you know, to your highest degree, you are expanding and finding your true self, of course. But like, we really need to break free from those old routines that don't serve us. Pluto is stationing retrograde in Capricorn, like pretty much as we speak. I think it is, it's slowing down. It stations retrograde on April 27th. So what is that? 10 days, a week and a half. Is that right? Maybe I can't math very well right now. On the 27th of April. And like Pluto is death and rebirth, and all of that transformation is happening in Capricorn, which is also long-standing traditions and long-standing structures. It's more tied to like government and sort of social structures, and those are clearly coming down because like clearly they don't work. 2020, like 2020 vision, we can just see it's time for us to be more independent. It's time for us to find our own smaller communities who can support each other. Because if we had 1 million small communities all over the world supporting each other, we're gonna do way better than like 1 million people following one structure that doesn't support minorities, the disadvantaged, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So like, we're really in this space of finding our new community. And in Aries season, we had that opportunity to figure out, where's my soul calling me? What changes do I need to make? Where do I feel inspired to take action? And in Taurus season, it's time to make a practical plan. You're gonna also want to focus on working with love. And I don't mean love necessarily as like sexual, romantic, intimate love. Love just as like platonic intimacy. Finding people who are really focused on supporting you unconditionally, obviously with boundaries, because like unconditional doesn't mean like I keep going back to my toxic partner because I unconditionally love him. It's like, he's terrible for you, run away, like send them love but leave, you know what I mean? So we want to focus on love because Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus. So it's love, it's relationships, it's also our relationship to money, our relationship to abundance. Where does your relationship to money sit currently? Do you think that money is hard? Do you think, you know, like money doesn't grow on trees? It's like, technically it's paper, it kind of does grow on trees. And like, it's just easier for me to think that way because like, when I say, and you can ask like anybody that's known me for a while, like I've always just said, just do it. Just buy it. Money will come, money will come, money will come. And like, trust me, money comes. Money is coming, money will come. And like, when it comes, then we use that to create accessible content. We use that to support other community members. We use that to raise people at affordable prices. It's like, that's the Aquarius energy working into your structure. How can I give back? How can we all come up? Because rising tides raise all ships. It's not just, oh, I get to catch the wave and everyone else is down here. It's like, no, like that is so fucking outdated. And that makes me so upset because it's just like, it doesn't need to be so hard. There is trillions and trillions of dollars in circulation in like the United States alone. It's like, you don't think there's enough money out there? bitch, you just are looking in the wrong spaces and you have the wrong programs in your fucking mind telling you that you don't deserve it or that you'll never make enough money if you branch out of the system and you do your own thing or you try something different. Like, they want you to stay in the system because the system works for them. It doesn't work for us. It's not supposed to work for us. It's supposed to work for a very small group of probably chubby, bald white men. And like, that is not the fucking vibe. So like, we need to restructure that. And how do you restructure that? Through community, through discussion, through finding other people who are on your wavelength. And like, easier said than done, I get it, but it comes down to releasing those programs. And once you release the programs, you don't carry the emotion. And when you don't carry the emotion, you're not attracting more of that energy into your vortex, as Abraham Hicks would say. It's like, we need to release these ideas. We need to release these outdated ways of thinking around money, around resources, around sharing, around what is healthy and what really isn't healthy. And I'm not gonna get on my like, 85% vegan horse and like look down at everybody and be like, oh, don't eat meat. But like pig, do you think pork, like bacon every morning is like a healthy option? Like, it probably isn't, because like scientifically speaking, it's a carcinogen that causes cancer. And it's also like death and all these other things. We're not going to get into it, but my point is, it's like, you need to stop thinking that like the fucking pyramid with like this huge chunk of dairy, for example, is like what promotes health. Like, no, that promotes, again, a very small group of like balding white men who are making billions of dollars off of all of these people, and then it leads to illness and all these other things. We're not going to get into the conspiracy theories. I can already see the DMs coming through my fucking Instagram. It's just like, the point is, you need to trust yourself. You need to feel what you feel you need to do. And if you want to make those changes, it's not easy to do that when you're surrounded by friends, family, community who's like, you're fucking crazy. It's just a burger. Just eat the burger. And I'm like, I don't want to eat the burger. Like, maybe once in a while I'll have a burger. I'm not trying to be like, like I'm fucking only hippie vegan, whatever. Like, trust me, still had a ham and cheese croissant last week. It's like, I like to tap into just being a regular human sometimes also. But like, we need to get down to releasing these programs around scarcity, around what we think is healthy, around, for example, working 44 hours a week, 8 hours a day. Like, how's that been working for you? Truthfully, sit down and say that. Like, how do I feel about this? Do I love my job? Is there friction there? I was doing a personal reading there's no personal readings. There's no personal readings right now, you guys. But I had someone who got one. I opened a couple up. I'll open a few more up in like a month, maybe. And in the middle of the reading, I had this download. Maybe the person's here. If you're here, put your name in the thing, because I would love to thank you for this. I can't remember. There was like 6 people that I did the readings. And one of them, I came up with the 4 Fs. And my 4 Fs are friction, fiction, force, and flow. And I'm going to do a workshop of some kind worked into probably the manifestation thing where we touch on this. But like, think about your job. Is your job creating friction, which is resistance, which is pressure, which is stress, which is anxiety, which is frustration? Do you wake up every day and go, I don't want to move in this direction today. I don't want to put my energy in this direction today. That's friction. That's when it's like, okay? The next one is fiction. What around your job, where are you creating fiction? Where is this fake story that you will not be able to find a job elsewhere? That you will be unsuccessful if you break free of the societal expectations of you, or you're too old to make a change, or whatever your fucking narrative is. It's like, that is where fiction comes into play. Force is when you're forcing things to work that clearly are not working. That is definitely something that comes up in work. This one probably has a stronger overlap into love. And again, Taurus season, we're looking at love, self-love, how we connect to relationship, what we expect from relationship. So like, what are you forcing? Where are you charging forward during times of rest as well? Because Taurus loves comfort, and a big thing related to comfort is rest. If you think about Taurus in the tarot, and we're going to pull some tarot cards soon too, but if you think about Taurus in the tarot, it comes up as the Empress. It's the Hierophant also, yes, but it's the Empress as well, because the Empress is ruled by Venus, Taurus, Venus. So the Empress ain't going fucking nowhere. She's sitting back in her backyard. She's like, grapes, please. Maybe she's not snapping because she's also divine feminine energy, which is just like, grapes, please, thank you, love you. And then she just waits and she's patient and the grapes come. She's not like, where are my grapes? Like charging into the fucking kitchen, like ripping things apart. Like she's in a space of flow, which is the next one. She's not forcing things. So trying to just really say, where am I forcing these things? Where am I not listening to my body when I need to rest? Because rest, you need to be in rest at least 50% of the time, because you need to be in a space and a state of calm, so you can assess, okay, this is coming up. Do I feel actually called to move into this direction, or am I going to force myself to get there? When this comes up, is there friction here? Am I lying to myself? Where's the fiction? Am I telling myself I'm obligated to go to this thing? It's like, we really need to start restructuring how we spend our time. And that again comes down to a Taurian practical plan. Sorry, I'm like, how many chucks could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, or whatever? Good luck with that, interpreter. Yeah, it's just like, it's too much. We don't want to be forcing things. We don't want to be lying to ourselves. We've done that for 30 years. And like the great conjunction that happened back in December of 2020, right before the time new year in January began, that was like a huge explosion of like all of the foundations. And those are foundational belief systems, programs, ideas, etc. So like it's done. Like we learned what we needed to learn. And if you can look back to your life around December 20th, let's say early January, and compare that to where you are now, like December 20th, write that down and do some reflecting at some point and just say like, look where I am now, look where I was at December 20th. Write down what you were doing, what you were thinking, what you thought you needed to be doing, and like really see the disconnect. Or if there's not much of a disconnect, understand that you are now floating through space because there has been a forceful disconnect astrologically. Like the planets have literally forced us into shifting that foundation out, because those foundations, those belief systems, those ideas, they do not work. They do not work. So now we're moving into this new space. The last F was flow. And this is the easiest one. This is just like, it's literally the ease in which the universe pulls you in a direction. It's you saying like, oh, a Taurus season workshop. That sounds fun. That sounds like I'll learn something. That's ease. That's flow. And then you get your workshop and you watch, and then that's great. And then you're going to do your little workbook. And then, sorry, that sounds so condescending. I also do the workbook. I'm like, you'll do your little workbook. No, you will. You'll do your little workbook. You'll organize your thoughts. And then a couple days later, you're going to be like, oh my God, I just wrote that down. And that is right in front of me. I should totally move in this direction. That is flow. And that is when the universe just drops these little stepping stones in front of you. And you don't need to fucking know what stepping stone 176 looks like. You just need to know stepping stone number 1. And then when you get there, stepping stone number 2. And as we move through this energy and this flow, that, especially through Taurus season, is how you add these pieces to your puzzle and you begin to structure your plan, and you see it's just falling into place. It's just moving towards you with ease. It's like effortless, and it's like synchronicities and little things like that. So that is kind of where we're moving. That is pretty much everything on my page. I also, excuse me, didn't do a land acknowledgement. So I just want to quickly say, like, the majority of people taking this workshop are settlers on this land. So we do have a responsibility in reconciliation, and those discussions need to be with Indigenous people involved, not just deciding on their behalf. So just keeping that in mind. And then, of course, an accessibility acknowledgement as well. I have an interpreter here. Deaf people are real and they like to come to things. And don't be a dick, caption your content. There's also a huge community there. So like, treat the community well, access them, they will access you. We can share more knowledge. Like it's a win-win for everybody, literally. The last thing that I wanted to say about Taurus is that it rules the second house in modern day astrology. And that is focused on resources, values, what you have, like the tangible things, your self-esteem, long-term equity, sustenance, etc. So those are themes throughout the next 30 days that I want you to just keep in mind, because when we're working in Taurus season with Taurus energy, it's this opportunity to really figure out the plan for the next, like we're only in the second house. We got to go all the way to 12. So it's good to get a plan together now. And of course, with the retrogrades, like the Pluto retrograde that we're going to have in Capricorn, it's going to be a time around April 27th to again, stop and reassess. And you don't need to like completely stop, but it's just like, slow down. Don't force things. The like fiction, like, oh, I have to do this now. You don't have to do anything now. Like maybe there's a couple things, but like, it's like my assistant's always like, we don't need to add this to your plate right now. Like you've got so much shit going. I'm like, I know, but I just got this download. We got to do it now. Shout out to Danny, who's like, no, we don't, slow down. And we have this joke of my body just always being like, please stop and rest. So like, I bring that to you, stop and rest. Okay. Because Taurus loves some rest. I'm going to pull, okay, perfect. I was going to say 2 cards, 2 fall out, literally. Stop fighting. Stop trying to fit all of the pieces together. This is a 5 of Wands reversed. It's like there's no reason for you to argue. There's no reason for you to force. When you look at the 5 of Wands upright, it's like a bunch of idiots trying to build a tent and nobody read the IKEA directions and everybody thinks they're right. It's like, just walk away. Just be like, guys, I'm just going to sleep under the fucking tree because like, I don't need a tent. Y'all are stressing me out. So like, don't force anything. The other thing I have here is the Knight of Pentacles reverse, which is interesting because this is already a slow card when it's upright. When it's reversed, it's like, it's almost not moving. So don't feel like you need to charge forward. Bottom of the deck. Ooh. Oh, bitch. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. These are also good. Oh, what? Okay. I can keep pulling all these. These are all so good. Don't feel like you need to charge forward because you don't. You need to just slow down and figure out how you want to move forward and where you will find the path of least resistance. Page of Swords is here to say, this is like that Aries energy. It's a young, fresh idea. It's a new spark. How do I swing this sword? How do I use these ideas? How do I move into a space of creating this into a reality? Below that, we've got the Lover's card and the Sun. This will bring you new connections. This will bring you potential for love. This will bring you abundance. I also referenced Leo season earlier. This is a Leo card, and we have a Gemini card. And in traditional tarot, sometimes they call this like the baby here, a Gemini as well. So I think in Gemini season, y'all are gonna feel a little more, oh, I know how to move forward. I know because the right people are starting to show up. So like, again, we've got these new ideas, Page of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. We need to figure out what to do. And the last one I have here is the 7 of Coins, which is patience, because everything is coming towards you. You do not need to force it. Oh, sure, I didn't read these ones. And we've got 3 of Coins and the Magician, which again is Gemini. Okay. Something's coming through for Geminis here or for Gemini season, so keep that in mind. But like, this is saying you have the opportunity to literally manifest whatever you want, but see how he is not forcing anything? He's not lying to himself. He knows what he wants. He is speaking it into existence. We talked about that before. What do you want? You don't need to tell it to somebody. You can just talk it to yourself. I just say all day, oh God, I can't wait till I'm like, you know, I've created this charity and my charity's like doing that. And like, I just talk about it like it's a real thing. And like, it's coming, I can feel it. We've already got pieces falling into place. It just happens. And then you've got the 3 of coins here as well, which is also hard work, community. You only need 2 or 3 people, 2 or 3 of you really with the same vision, and together you guys can build a fucking tower. So like, focus on that. I want to pull 1 moon card as well. And then we're going to do the meditation. And then once the meditation's done, I'll do 2 or 3 questions recorded, and then I'll shut off. Ooh, and then I will shut off. Oh my God. You can't write this shit. Literally the full moon in Gemini. And it says, the answers you need are coming. So like, why stress yourself out? Why stress yourself out? Because you fall into fiction, which is like, oh my God, I need to do this now. Everything has to happen now. If there's no progress, there's no progress. And that's the other thing that they're really showing me right now too, is like, we are programmed to think that productivity is a 24/7 job and that more productivity equals more result. That is false. That is false. More productivity does not equal more result. You constantly filling your day with doing things does not mean you're getting anywhere. You need to do the right things. You need to take the right action, the right intentional action. And yeah, you could say, well, there's so many things to do with the right intentional action, but you're stressing yourself out or you're putting them all on your plate at once. You don't need to do them all at once. You also can ask for help. I'm a big fucking preacher about asking for help. And like, I need to practice what I preach because it's just like, me and Daniela, I'm just like, girl, I need to do, it's like just the 2 of us, I throw everything at her. But like, yeah, we're taking on a lot. So like, just slow down, practical plan. Okay. The reason I was talking about all of these programs so much, the scarcity, the money is hard, I'll never find love, I don't deserve it, I have no power, I am not autonomous. If I sell everything and move, I will fail. If I do, like, false. The universe wants to see you take a risk and you will get reward. It'll typically be 10 times better than you could ever imagine. But when you're about to jump, the ego, which is predicting the future based off the past, it cannot fathom something it has not yet experienced. So meaning like, your brain will tell you all of the lies and stories to keep you small because it's experienced failure. It's experienced, this person told me that, it has these old narratives. It's like, when you finally say, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to, like me, sell my shit, get rid of my car, move to Europe, I'll just figure it out. I figured it out. And it was 10 times better. It was easier than I thought. It's not like the easiest thing in the world. There's still hard work, but like your brain literally cannot fathom what it has not experienced yet. So like you need to release those programs. Why I'm putting so much stress on this is because on April 26th, we have a full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is the deep-seated subconscious programs, the lies that you tell yourself, the fears, the anxieties, all of that shit. Scorpio is also a lot of great things, but a full moon in Scorpio is going to bring up all of those fixed emotions. It is fixed energy. It is fixed water. That is ice. Think about ice. Ice is not easy to break. Like maybe an ice cube, but like if you're out on a fucking pond, you're like, oh my God. It's like, those are frozen emotions, traumas in the body, programs in the body. They're going to come up around the 26th. So if you've never taken a full moon workshop, they're pay what you can. You can pay $1 or 50 cents, whatever you've got. But yeah, that is a good time to try one. April 27th, the day after, Pluto stations retrograde in Capricorn. We talked about this. the death and the rebirth of those structures, of those programs, external and internal. On May 10th, Mercury is in Gemini, and it will sextile, which means it has a positive influence with Chiron in Aries. Chiron is a healing comet or like asteroid type thing. This is a really good time to have ideas and thoughts. You'll notice thoughts coming through, maybe building up to that or just after that time, but it's a really good time to start healing the ego, healing the self, releasing. So we release at that Scorpio new moon, sextile, Chiron, and Mercury. Mercury is ideas, communication. We also had Gemini come up 10 times. True, here we go. The answers you need are coming. You will get some answers to figure out how to heal those parts of yourself and to begin to reestablish the ego, which is the I, who I am, how I am, my labels, my mask, what I do. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean it like, I am Chris Corsini, I am 31, I am a tarot card reader, and I am a teacher, I guess. I don't know what you would even call this. I lead conversation. Like, that is my ego. That is how I label myself in this moment. So that is what's going to be coming up on and around May 10th. May 11th, we have a new moon in Taurus. So now we've got these ideas again, how to heal ourselves, how to move forward into new things, how to communicate what we want in new ways. Use the new moon workshop to establish your intentions, because that is going to be an amazing time to set intentions and invite in the energy of creating everything we've talked about today: health, wealth, sustainability, long-term equity, new diets, food, like all that sort of stuff is all related to Venus energy, Taurus energy, Earth energy. And then I will end with May 13th. Jupiter enters Pisces. That is a time for us to dream big. So we have the new moon on the 11th. 2 days later, it's like, oh my God, everything that I just imagined for myself, all of the seeds I just planted, Jupiter is expansion. Pisces is dreamy and like deep emotion. Pisces is also healing. It rules the 12th house. So we're wrapping things up. So Jupiter is a great support in expanding that healing and that opportunity to move forward. The other thing I want to say is that May is a 5 month. January, February, March, April, May. It's the 5th month. 2021 is a 5 year. 2, 2, and 1. 2, 2, 1 is 5. 5 and 5 equals 10 in numerology. There is no 10 in numerology, which means you drop the 0 and it becomes a 1, which means this is a month for initiating new things, starting new things. We're in the dead of the spring. We're right in the center. We're ready to grow. We just had this new moon. We've healed our ego in new ways. We've released at the Scorpio full moon. It is time to fucking jump, because in April was a 9 month, which means like, everyone's like, yay, it's Aries season, me included. And I'm sitting here being like, why am I still crying so much? Why am I still wrapping up so many cycles? Why am I still dealing with so much shit? It's because it's a 9 month. It is a month of release and mastery and understanding. So like when we move into May, it's going to be a different, number. That number holds a different vibration. That comes also with the new moon in Taurus, which again is planting those seeds, etc., etc. You get the point. Also, if you're doing the full moon workshops, but not the new moon workshops, I don't understand you. Like, the new moon workshops are the ones that you invite everything in. If you're donating, $10 and you can't afford the new moon work, then just give me 5 and 5. Like split your budget in half and just do it, or like do whatever you can do, but like just take a new moon workshop, because like, oh my God, that's when we bring things in. You can't just let go of so much and then you sit there and you're like, what the hell's going on? Okay, that is pretty much everything. So we're going to do a meditation now. It's gonna maybe be 10-ish minutes, maybe 12. So if you wanna just get comfortable, if you wanna lay down, you can stay seated. I'm going to play a sound bowl this sound bowl is actually on my YouTube channel. So anytime you guys want to just get a little sound bath or you want to meditate with it, it's like totally free to use. It was from our last year's like 2020 spring equinox. It was actually live. It was really cool. Like the bowls were live. Okay, so we are going to do this meditation. And then after that, we are going to do a question and answer. And then we will wrap up right after that. I don't want to keep the interpreter too long. I promised her by quarter after is like the absolute longest. So I'm going to honor that just because it's really hard to interpret this type of stuff alone. As an interpreter, I understand that. So I want to respect that. Okay, so if you guys want to just close your eyes. If you are deaf, of course, just watch the interpreter and just use your third eye to visualize. I'm going to start music now. And the first thing I want to do is just take 3 deep breaths. So I'm going to count you in, and you can inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. And one more time, we're going to inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. And one last time. Really relax the jaw, fill the belly. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release, 2, 3, 4. So I want you to just envision that you are outside. You're in a garden. It's sunny, warm. You're definitely safe and protected. Maybe there's a guide with you, an angel. Maybe you're alone. Maybe you're with trusted family or friends. There's no right or wrong. I just want you to go with it. And I want you to envision fresh soil in front of you in this garden. And beside you is a watering can. And what we're going to do is use the watering can to water some of the sprouts that we have, some of the ideas that we had from Aries season. If you were here in Aries season during the workshop and you planted a seed, these are the same sprouts. If you are just joining us for the first time now, these are just ideas that came to you through Aries season. So what I want you to do is to kneel down and put your hands around one of the sprouts or one of the buds. Just put your hands around it or over it. And I want you to think about what type of relationships you want to bring into your life. What type of relationships do you want to nurture? Which relationships do you want to grow stronger and deeper? It can be with friends, family, love, relationships. It could be a relationship with yourself. Maybe you don't know this person yet. Maybe you're trying to invite someone into your life. So what I want you to do is just visualize how it feels to already be there and already have it. And invite that vibration into your body. I want you to feel the emotion of it. And now I want you to take your watering can, and I just want you to water this bud. Make sure that it's ready to continue growing. And before we move on to the next one, I want you to just look beside the bud, and I want you to see that there's a weed. And the weed is something that is holding you back. It could be a person or a situation, maybe a behavior or an idea or a program in your mind, like we talked about earlier. But I want you to look at that weed, and I want you to feel the frustration or the anger, the stress that weed makes you feel, maybe these people, experiences. And I want you to just grab that weed and rip it up. Toss it aside, or maybe in a little garbage or wherever you want to put it. But we're just going to get rid of it so that you have more space to root down in the things that you really want. So now I want you to look at a second sprout or a little bud somewhere else. And we're going to bring our watering can over, and we're going to put our hands above it or around it. And I want you to focus on finances. I want you to think about how you want to invite more abundance into your life. And we talked about that Aquarius energy earlier. So how could you share this abundance with another community? Or how could you use this abundance to maybe create accessible content for the deaf community or something along those lines? How can you create financial independence? Equity. Something that is long-term. I want you to vibrate that energy. I want you to hold the vision of you already having all of that money. You already have all of these resources. I want you to feel that emotion and place it into the sprout. And then I want you to take your watering can and I want you to water the sprout. And now beside it, I want you to identify another weed. And I want you to figure out maybe just one thing that's holding you back from receiving all of that abundance. Is it a belief system, a person? Maybe you're in the wrong environment. Feel that frustration. Maybe it's doubt. Feel the doubt and fill the weed with the doubt, the anger, and then grab it and rip it up out of the ground. And I want you to toss it away, far from your garden. Now we're going to look at a third sprout, and we're going to bring our watering can over, and I want you to wrap your hands around this and to think about living a healthier life. What can you do, or what can you add into your routine to make a shift that will lead to a healthier lifestyle? Maybe it's less time on your phone, more meditation, or exercise, or yoga. Maybe it's moving in the direction of a plant-based diet, or eating less dairy, drinking less caffeine, less alcohol. Everything in balance is okay. But can you identify something that is out of balance? Maybe just not taking enough time for yourself. You're always around other people. You're always giving advice. I want you to think about something you could do that makes you feel healthier, and visualize it and feel the emotion of already doing it, already being there. And then I want you to put that energy into the sprout, and I want you to water it. And And beside it is another fucking weed. So I want you to look at the weed and think about something that is blocking you from this healthier lifestyle. Is it a person or a habit? Think about how frustrating that is, or how upset they make you. Maybe it's just an experience that really weighs on your mental health. Think about that energy and place it into the weed, and then pull it out. And there's going to be one last sprout. I want you to just place whatever energy you want into this one. Something that we haven't thought of yet, or maybe you've already thought of it and you just want to give it an extra boost. What else are you trying to invite into your life? I want you to visualize it. Feel it as if it is already yours, because it is. Receive it into your life. Hold the vibration and the emotion. Place that energy into the bud and then water it. And if there's a little weed beside the bud, I want you to think about what is holding you back from getting exactly what you deserve. And I want you to charge the weed with this frustrating energy, or this anger, or the sadness, or the doubt. And I want you to pull it out. Now, before we leave, I want you to just step back from the garden and I want you to look at it. And understand that all of this is happening for you. It is all coming your direction. It's already yours. We're just merging the timelines. And this garden is deep in your subconscious mind, so you can come back anytime. You'll have this recording if you want to come back and revisit your garden, or you can just do so at any point in time, anywhere. But before we leave, I just want you to give gratitude to yourself for coming here and planting these seeds. Thanking the universe for providing you with more than you need, and trusting that it's already on its way. We're going to take one deep breath into the heart chakra, where Taurus rules. So if you want to just place your hands over your heart, we're going to just set these intentions deep in the subconscious so that they're always running, so they're always attracting this to you. And I'm going to count you in so you can take a deep breath now. 2, 3, 4, and hold. And release. 2, 3, 4. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your toes and your fingers. Stretch out your neck a little bit. Do whatever you need to do to come slowly back into this space. I'm going to just stop the music and move my desk back a little bit. And that is pretty much that. I do want to, again, we're going to do a Q&A, of course. Everybody's going to get an email tomorrow. I will shut this off and tell you what the code is in 1 second. You do not need to put your visa in there. If you want more help with any of this stuff, of course, the new moon, full moon workshops are super helpful. And my podcast, Middle Ground, talks about this type of thing. You can find it on any streaming platform, just spelt totally normal, Middle Ground. And yeah, that is pretty much that. Taurus is all about long term. There's no rush. It's earth energy. You're growing a tree, so don't force it. It's new routines and traditions, and it's going to take time. So thank you guys so much for this. I'm going to just stop the recording now, and then we will do a Q&A. So let me, oh my God, I almost ended it for everyone. Let me, if you guys are watching the recording, thank you so much. Chat with you soon.